it's wild to look at. And again, for those who might be unfamiliar, obviously today, Saturday, October 4th, was day one of DLC Bologna. So it is still in progress. They have not finished the tournament. So there is a day two point requirement. Then they will cut to top 32. So they had a total of 1,864 decks, just like Dylan mentioned, and zero Emerald Ruby. I think this is. I don't know if we had these metagame statistics with other DLCs, but I feel like there was at least one deck of every single ink pairing. I could be wrong in that, but the the sheer spread of what we're looking at here is I would say I'm shocked, but I'm not shocked. But it's interesting to see Ruby Sapphire though, like the number one deck, and then it's like one singular person brought it to Bologna, Italy to play with, and kudos to them because we there was some interesting games this morning. We again it starts at 3 a.m. Eastern time. I think Dylan is the only person in our state that's open at that time or awake at that time. But
Matt
by
said
the
he was
time I
up.
woke,
Matt is
okay.
too.
Matt said he was
Matt's
up.
awake then too.
But what was really fun to watch, and again, we really don't have a structured segment around this here. We have a few points, but my favorite match of the day was probably seeing that Amber Ruby Powerline deck. That was a fun match to watch. I woke up and that was the first match that was on, and it was very very fun to see. I know that we haven't watched all of it, but for I mean, I guess from a state of the inks perspective, obviously we don't know who's going to make cut, but I think it's safe to say we're not shocked looking at these numbers.
I don't think so. I mean, we've talked about it for a while, and the entire community's talked about it. We have went before, I think, in season one. We kind of ended with a triangle whenever it comes to the meta, right? And now we've continued to talk about how it's a square. Well, I mean, a square with one side clearly sharper than the rest of them.
Yeah,
But you can see it here. You have Blurple up top as 683 people brought
36%.
this Blurple deck. 36% of the decks were Blurple. And you have Amber Still, which I'm sure for the most part, I mean, again, we don't have the complete deck list. I'm sure it's not Still Song, right? I mean, this is the new version of Amber Still, the very aggro with the Tianas and everything else. Emerald Sapphire, you know our community loves Emerald Sapphire and
Oh, yeah.
has for the longest time. There's a lot of people within our Discord community who that they got involved months and months and months ago, and they were like, "Oh wow, this is the most talk I've ever had," or centered around Emerald Sapphire, and that conversation has just continued to happen. And then you have old reliable Amethyst still kicking it, still hanging around, even without the bounce package. It's still alive and well. Those are kind of your main four. Yet you also have dogs kicking, not Cherna dogs, no Cherna, just dogs. The dogs are alive and well. Amethyst Ruby's
Chroma
in
Dog.
there, and the dog. Yeah, the Emerald Chromacon coming through. I feel like I was playing Emerald Chromacon forever ago,
Sure.
and now it's finally popping up. And Sapphire still. John showed it in his. This is really impressive to watch. I believe that they actually showcased someone earlier who had went like 5-1 or something like that with a Sapphire Still deck earlier within the day, and that they had already moved on to day two. It's really neat. And like Preston said, one of the coolest matches was the Amber Ruby. And if you look, only two players brought Amber Ruby. And as we watched throughout the day, and we were seeing all these different matches, it caught my eye that it's crazy to think that out of everybody who brought Blurple, not a single Blurple match. Is that correct? Is that what you were telling me, Preston?
Not
Not a
on stage
single
three.
Blurple match
Nope.
was not showcased. So out of 683 Illumineers, not a single Blurple deck was showcased today on today's stream. And watching, I don't know who was in charge of it. I don't know who was in charge of picking what were the featured matches and what were actually showcased, but they've done an excellent job, in my opinion, showcasing different things. I know that we saw the Ruby Amethyst, we saw Sapphire Still, Amber Ruby, Amethyst Emerald there at the end of the day, I believe we saw as well. But they really did a fantastic job of showing some of these underrepresented combinations. And I think that that was a very, very smart thing to do because with the conversation and the topic coming into this being that Amethyst was overpowered and that we were seeing Amethyst kind of take on that role of Sapphire there before. And I think that was a stat that I had. I mean, yeah, we said 36% of the decks brought Blurple, a whole. But if you take just the ink color itself of Amethyst and that package that it centers around, 53% of decks brought Amethyst. Still a lot. Over half of your decks ran Amethyst, but that's still nowhere near the 70% that we had near the end of Season 1 that we're bringing Sapphire.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's no, I will say the production team again, whoever picked this, yeah, I was afraid that's all we were gonna see, and was
Bunch
just
of mirror
Amethyst
matches and
Sapphire.
stuff.
Yeah, and the fact that they sought out to showcase the one of the two Amber Ruby decks that was actually performing fairly well. I mean, I don't
Mhm.
I forget what the record was. It was fun to broadcast and see to see that. But and that kind of brings another great point to the broadcast team, A+ lineup, like truly, like Rebecca, Baker, Kim, Kawa, all those folks. They know how to put on a good show. It's been fun to watch. All the little, I think Baker and Rebecca played like a game and like the whole like setup and everything like that. It was really fun to watch, and you can just tell that those people love that. I also love watching their Instagram stories and their travel and stuff like that, just everything else. But I am curious though. We don't have stats on the day two because it's a top 32 cut. They got three more rounds of Swiss tomorrow, but predictions on what is going, and again, we don't talk about the meta a whole lot, but it's important because it's the first DLC ever of season two, and it comes at a point post rotation where, again, just like Dylan mentioned, we see an Emerald Ruby deck on the starter deck and it has no representation inside the deck breakdown. But any guesses as to what we'll say what will end up in the top four? What do you think?
Mm. Amber Still will sneak its way in there. I think that's already been proven from CCQs even before the DLCs how great it is. Personally, I would love to see Amethyst Still in it because I love the ink combination and everything that it can do. It's so well balanced, like the tempo of it overall. For our community, I mean, how cool would it be just to see like one of each? No mirror
Yeah,
matches in the final four. Let's get one of each there. Let's get the Amber Still. Let's get the Baja Blast or whatever we're gonna the Gru. Let's get it in there. Just I don't know. I don't know. I wish I really had a good prediction of what will win or who will win. I think that right now it's just too much up in the air, and that we'll
yeah.
get a better look at this tomorrow during day two. Maybe we'll give an update in our stories or something. But I'm really interested in watching the players themselves, seeing how they adjust from day one to day two. And not only that, but from DLC 1 to DLC 2 and going forward. Because a lot of these names we're not just going to see here in Bologna, but we're going to see later on too. And we know that they go to as many different DLCs as they possibly can. So seeing how they perform at this first one, getting back into rhythm, finding their new spots within the meta and after set rotation. I mean, DKP alone, we know he's made day two. No clue what he's running. I'm sure that he's not the one person running Ruby Sapphire this time around. So,
Yeah, I mean, surely not. Statistically, that would just not be a thing. I echo you on Amber Steel. That is a scary fast ink pairing. It is terrifying how fast Amber Steel is. My hot take is I don't think we're going to see a lot of Blurple as what people think we're going to see, especially whenever we make cut. Um, we're going to have some make cut, but I don't think it's going to be overwhelming as what people think. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a good chunk of Blurple. I think it's going to be a good chunk of Amber Steel, Emerald Sapphire. But I would like to see one Sapphire Steel make it in. I think
that would be fantastic.
that would be fun to see.
That's what I
I've
think that's what I was going to ask is like what's the one sleeper ink combination that you would like
Sapphire.
to see take off? Yeah.
Yeah,
I know typically we always see Amethyst Ruby sneak in, but I think Sapphire still is the one this time.
it's fun.
It really
Like
has a chance.
with what we've seen, and keep in mind, Sapphire Steel was a ink pairing that was so powerful that it constituted the first two card bans in Lorcana. But I think I would like to see Sapphire Steel make it into the top 32. I think that'd be fine. And we'll just see. We're just speculating, but again, we don't talk about this a whole lot. Like we don't cover every single CCQ and stuff like that. But these DLCs are official events, and they kind of give a pulse on the community and on the game as a whole. There is no better data. You will not have no bigger gathering than what we have of Illumineers here at DLCs. So Sapphire Steel. Let's see.
Right on. But back to the broadcast team real quick. I do want to say, I know we brought up Rebecca, Baker, and Call and all them. I really want to shout out Spessy, who didn't get a chance
Yes.
to show off how well he was or how well he does and performs as a caster at the World Championship. So for him to be here now and having his moment and opportunity in the spotlight is absolutely amazing. And Erica actually being from Italy and Italian, it was really cool hearing her and hearing the translation of a lot of cards. It was very educational being able to have someone from Italy because well, I mean, we're over here, we're from the US, we're people who made their way there. Most of the people at this event were European or were from those European countries. So getting a firsthand report from someone who is directly from there and knows these players a lot better than what we might was fantastic. Let me tell you, Kimberly Ann is kind of my standout star as a commentator for this entire event thus far. Maybe there's just something about that Irish accent. I don't know what it is, but every time this girl got excited, you could hear it,
You hear it.
and
You hear it in her
her
voice. Yeah.
excitement, it was contagious. It made me excited over the littlest things. I think she did a fantastic job, and her and Spessy earlier in the day being on commentary together has been one of my favorite pairings so far. That and World Championship JDZ with Baker. I
It's
mean,
been
it's
too
up there.
iconic. Yeah, it's nice to have. You can just tell because this isn't the first time many of them have worked together. They've worked together with DLCs and Continentals and CCQs and other unofficial events. You can just tell that they got there 2 or 3 days early. I can't remember. They did a lot of pre-recorded hype videos and stuff like that. But you can tell they all have a really fun chemistry, and it was so fun to watch Spessy, Baker, and Rebecca look at a Lorcana card and draw it and
And try to
have the
draw it.
other. Yeah, we
Some
couldn't see it on the
Pictionary
stream,
type
but
stuff.
you're right. Like literal charades or what have you. No, it's contagious and it's a lot of fun. And I'll say this: whenever I got up this morning because I did not get up at 3 in the morning to start watching this thing. But
Oh, why
whenever
not?
I woke up but whenever I woke up this morning and I saw the hype video and I heard the music, I got excited because it is competitive, not competitive, but it is DLC season. We have kicked off the next season of DLCs.